Hello, I'm Christopher Joseph. Today we are having a short chat with David Armstrong, Chair of UCAN Board and a senior journalist based in Bangkok. Welcome, David. You've been in media for long years. How is media in Asia different from other parts of the world?
I think in other parts of the world, the media is, I would say, it started out being highly polarised. It's now very largely in one direction, as the media in the rest of the world really tends to support the existing political and diplomatic economic structures.
Yeah.
It's very conservative in that sense. They wouldn't like to hear that, I don't think, but it's very conservative. If you look at, say, Israel-Gaza war, there's almost unanimity of view on the rights and wrongs of that. And so just one side. And naturally, that doesn't happen naturally. There's going to be some kind of underlying force that produces that result. It's you have to read social media to get so if you want to get a different view from Western commentators, you have to read social media. You very rarely find it in the mainstream conventional media. In Asia, the Asian media generally perhaps not as strong financially, but you do at least get different views on issues, and you get sometimes a different way of looking at the world that's not the Western way of looking at the world. That's one of the things I find interesting about the Asian media, is that not every day, not all the time, but from time to time you'll get commentators and columnists who just view the world quite differently to the way Westerners do.
How do you see church media in Asia? How should it become more resilient and more strong in terms of its power and influence? What should the hierarchy do? What should ordinary Catholics?
Church media in Asia, which I'm most familiar, of course, is UCAN. I've had an association with UCAN on and off for the past 10 years, and been directly involved for the past 5 years. I see the role of UCAN and other church media in Asia as covering the church, the activities of the church in Asia, and the issues of concern to the church in Asia. And by the church, I mean the people, not just the hierarchy. I think UCAN is getting better at doing that. It not only covers the day-to-day news, as it were, but it now does these special feature series, a couple of which are quite religious, about the spiritual life of ordinary people in Asia. And if you read those stories and you see the faith of people, of the poorest people who in socio-economic terms are at the bottom of the ladder, you see their faith and the strength of their faith. I find that uplifting. UCAN is also looking at issues that are of great concern to people. Recently had a series on climate change, for instance, and the impact of that has on Asia, and particularly on the poor people. And I think that kind of thing is very valuable. We also a special series on one of the great scandals of Asia at the moment, which is the scam cities in Myanmar and Cambodia, rely on human trafficking to do their work. They rely on torture, quite severe torture, to keep people in line, and they then work to run online scams and gambling operations that con people out of thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars of their savings. that's a great scam, and until recently there's very little action taken to stop it, and I think UCAN's played a great role in raising awareness of what I think UCAN called Asia's shame. So I think the church media has got a triple role, just what's going on day by day, if there are any announcements or any developments, any new appointments and so on, reporting on the faith of the people and on the lives of the people and the issues and forces that affect their lives. Now, you asked about what should the church do, the hierarchy. I don't see a lot of activity from the hierarchy in the church in Asia. If I look at the church in Asia, I'm really impressed that we get silence and invisibility. I could stand corrected, but I don't recall the bishops or even priests for that matter making public statements about these great brutal online scams that are taking place just across the border from Thailand and are have been facilitated through Thailand. On that issue, I think the Pope has spoken out very recently, which is good, very good, but I haven't seen much reaction or comment from the local official church.
How should media tackle religion? Because religion is everywhere. In every part of human life, religion is important. So, what are the sensitivities when media speaks about religion and deals with religion?
Religion, for many people, is indeed a very sensitive subject. I think while it's important for religious figures to be able to speak out on issues of concern to the people of their faith, one of the great sensitivities is the separation of church and state. The churches should not actively be involved in trying to run the state, as it were. And there's a flip side to that. The politicians have to be careful about how they involve religion in their work. I know we had the election in India last year, and one of the politicians, one of the more famous politicians, directly involved the religious faith and tried to create a division between the two major faiths, and I thought that was despicable. I thought it should have been not just reported in the media, but it should have been called out and condemned.
Thank you, David. It was wonderful. We'll see you later.
Thank you very much for giving me your time and your thoughts. I appreciate it and I enjoyed it. Thank you.